Adele. Hope you're well and have had a good, successful week with your first training block. Right, so let's have a look at your check-in. So your morning weight. So we'll have a look at the diet and weight tracker. So our average weight is looking at 133.2 pounds, which is great. So your training week, how have you found it? I've really enjoyed training, loving the weights and each workout combination. Deadlifts are my nemesis. I did pull my back a bit, but not done weights properly since about August. Right, okay. In regards to your deadlifts are often done very, very wrong, okay? So how I want you to be performing your deadlift. Right. So where you're probably going wrong, if you're feeling really, really uncomfortable in your lower back, is if the bar isn't touching your knee, your shins. If the bar isn't touching the shins, then you're going to be pulling from your lower back. Okay. If you're looking up at the ceiling as well, all the tension is in the lower back. You need to make sure that when you're doing the deadlift, that bar is touching your shins and you're looking at the floor. So my neck's in a neutral position now. So as I'm pushing up, the bar's scraping my thighs. The second it gets to my knees, I'm going to thrust my hips forwards and squeeze my bum cheeks as hard as I can, okay? The reason why you want to squeeze your bum cheeks is because they're a very, very big muscle group and we want to be stimulating them. Your lower back's a really small muscle group, and if we're putting all the tension on our lower back, then you are going to injure it, okay? Really, really push from the legs. When you're doing the deadlifts, predominantly you should be feeling it in your lower back. You should be feeling it in your quads and your glutes. So remember, you need to push, thrust, and squeeze. Push, thrust, and squeeze, okay? Try that, see how you get on, and I really believe that it'll be a big, big game changer for you. Right, so, appearance, not sure, but think it's personally hard to see changes in yourself after a week. Yeah, you're totally right. It's probably going to take a good couple of weeks before we see real changes. But just keep doing what you're doing, keep chipping away, and I'm sure we'll see some really good progress. Right, so in terms of your nutrition, no, but Monday was a trial as to what I was previously eating on a daily basis. I'm gradually progressing and introducing more foods and carbs and proteins into my diet. Fantastic, because we really want to be eating plenty of calories, because your goal is to get stronger and to gain more muscle. So we need to make sure that we're fueling our body with the right nutrients to really help you achieve that goal. So in terms of your sport and your work, so this week at work has been busy, late nights and weekday duty, a couple of days. Hasn't affected training as training in the morning. Good to have a training partner as it helps with motivation and makes future sessions more fun. That's great. It's good that you and Louise are really getting stuck in together. So in terms of your sleep, so you average about 5.5 to 6 hours of sleep, but that's normal for me. And I always feel wide awake and good all day, but I will try and increase this. Weekends usually about 8 hours, so make up for a bit. Cool, that's great. I mean, at the end of the day, Adele, if you feel like you're functioning well with 5.5, 6 hours sleep, then that's fine. There's who's to say that's wrong? It's just about your personal preference. If we find that your progression is massively halting, I would definitely recommend having an extra hour's sleep, because obviously there's a lot of hormones that are being regulated when you sleep, and there's a lot of recovery that's being made. So obviously the longer the sleep, the more well recovered you'll be. Have you got any of your own questions? Can we do cardio sessions? Don't do cardio just yet. Okay, so the reason why we don't want to be doing cardio just yet is because we want to use this as a tool for keeping your body fat relatively low. Your goal is to get stronger and to gain muscle, okay? So the calories that you're consuming need to be geared towards muscle growth, right? If you're doing lots of cardio, you're burning lots of calories. So all those calories that you're burning off aren't going to be contributed to your muscle gain. So it's actually very, very contradicting if you're doing cardio. What I would suggest is, what I'm hoping to do with you, is we're going to keep progressively building you up and up and up and up and up, getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Your body fat should be slightly increasing, okay? And then when it gets to a certain point, which I'll be able to see on the pictures, we'll do a 6-week mini cut where we'll reduce your calories and we'll add a little bit of cardio in, which will reduce your body fat. And then when we start increasing the calories again, you're not just going to be progressively overloading yourself with body fat and whatnot. So I would suggest that you don't do it just as of yet. So one thing you want to improve next week, I'm working on improving my diet and increasing weight. Awesome. Really, really happy with that check-in, so thank you so much. In terms of your nutrition, let's have a look. So, right, we had 35 grams of fats, 77 grams of carbs, and 80 grams of protein. Okay, so we really, really want to be. I know, obviously, you know the crack here. We definitely want to be increasing that up. So this week, I want you to make sure that you hit 65 grams of fats, 180 grams of carbs, and 160 grams of protein, because we can see that you've lost 4 pounds since you started doing the training routine since Monday, which is really, really good. However, your goal is to gain muscle and gain strength, so we want to progressively be seeing that weight slowly but surely creeping up. So if you can hit these macros for me, that will give me enough information to see whether these are the right ones or whether we need to eat more or less. Right, okie dokie. So your training routine, right? So what I've done is I've filled in all the weights that I want you to lift based on what you've written in. I'm gonna give you 5 targets. So this week I want to see you try and do 67.5 kilos on the deadlift for 2 weights. If your back's really sore coming up to the deadlifts, just miss them out. Don't risk putting your back out just for the sake of doing a lift. But if you feel like you can do it and you're not going to hurt your back, then let's see if we can get 2 weights. On your Tuesday workout, your target is to do 62.5 kilos on the squats. Really ensure that you're getting below 90 degrees. You're pushing your knees out wide, and when you stood up, you're squeezing your bum cheeks as hard as you possibly can. Your Thursday routine, the target is to lift 9 kilos on the pull-ups. So that's taking 9 kilos off your weight and trying to get 212s, which is going to be a tough one, but if you can do that, that'd be fantastic. We then want to push for 80 kilos for 2 sets of 20 reps on the leg press, and the last target is to try and get 105 squat jumps. Okay, I know that'll be really, really tough, and the lactic acid will be massive, but those are some little small goals that I want you to try and push for during your workout. So if you can do those for me, Adele, and you can hit your macros, I've seen that you've filled in your measurements, which is fantastic, so I really, really appreciate you doing that for me. Going forwards, let's get these done in centimeters, just because then we'll be able to see the even smaller increments. So if you could do that for me, that would be fantastic. Other than that, I'm really, really happy with how you've been tracking things, how you've been filling in all your workouts. It's really, really good. So eat more food, hit those targets that I set you, and just keep whooping ass. You're doing a great job, and I look forward to seeing your work next week. Take care, Adele. See you in a bit.